Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the McShin Foundation's award-winning podcast, Get in the Herd. Today's guest is NASM Certified Personal Trainer and PN1 Nutrition Coach, Laura Mae Lucas. Laura, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I apologize. I called you Laura. She goes by Laura Mae.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
So understood. Yeah, my last name is Bognar, and people butcher that all the time. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes, but you know. So Laura Mae, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh yeah, so I'm like you said, a certified personal trainer with NASM. I'm a health coach. I'm a power lifter, and yeah, I'm also I'm 5 years sober, and yeah.
That's outstanding. That is outstanding. I can tell you, for me personally, I love going to the gym. I've been going for about a year now, and it's been absolutely imperative to my personal recovery. Without the gym, I don't know where I'd be. You need something to replace, your using habits, and for me, that has become the gym. And not to mention the fact that it's gotten me in such better shape, and it's not only physically but mentally as well. What would you say got you into fitness and health and living this type of lifestyle?
Well, I've always been kind of into fitness and nutrition. As a teenager, I was really into nutrition. I started experimenting with like the vegan diet and the raw food vegan diet, and just like doing research on different diets and stuff like that. Eventually, like kind of figuring out a correct balance with that. But and then later on got into fitness and going to the gym. This was before I even got sober. So like,
Okay.
I found that that healthy lifestyle very difficult to maintain when I was drinking heavily and partying. It was like two different versions of myself that were
Right.
big. So it was really hard to actually stay on track with anything and to have any like real goals and accomplish them. So after I got sober, it was like, much like you mentioned, you got to kind of find something else to do with yourself, because
Absolutely.
I was so consumed with drinking and partying. It was part of my identity, and like, it's like, now what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And around the same time, I was like, just kind of not doing much in my career. I actually graduated from art school, and yeah, I was cleaning houses because I
Gotcha.
just couldn't get my life together.
Right.
So this was a good time to pivot and kind of figure out what else I wanted to do. And since I was really interested in fitness and nutrition, my parents were like, hey, we'll buy you a certification just to kind of keep your hands busy.
Right.
So I ended up doing that, and yeah.
Nice. I went to art school for about a semester, I think. And I dropped out when they started making us draw naked people from off the street. They put us in a classroom and would just bring somebody in, and off would come the robe. And I was like, okay, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I was really into sculpture though. But as I progressed in it, I was just like, what am I actually going to do with this? I had no idea what I was going to do with it, because I didn't have any aspirations of becoming an artist or a sculptor or anything like that, But then down the road, I found my love for music was what I wanted to make a career, with. Ended up going to engineering school and graduated from there. And now here I am. It's kind of crazy how things work out like that.
Yeah, for sure.
You had mentioned that you need to we both had mentioned that we needed to find something to replace our old habits. Another thing that, has really helped me, as far as replacing those habits is, getting in the right mental frame of mind, to do that, and working out and trying to be as healthy as I can. That has kind of changed me as far as my desire to go back to the way I was before, to go back to active addiction. I look at myself now and I'm like, I'm so proud of what I've become and what I've been doing with myself, that I can't imagine ever going back to that old lifestyle. I've got, in fact, this is my friend Joey Jewell. He's actually one of the guys that got me into, to getting myself back in shape and working out. Joey's a really, really good guy. I like him a lot. So that's kind of the next thing I want to talk about, is the correlation between, your physical health and your mental health, and kind of how that relates to your recovery.
Yeah, for sure. So like two things. One, the more physically strong you are, I believe the more mentally strong you are, because like when you get physically strong, you're actually pushing yourself to do things that are uncomfortable and like in the gym. Yeah. But then that translates into life. And when
Right.
you're faced with something difficult, you know that you're actually capable of doing that. And I know there's like more ways to do that than just being physically fit. But I think also when you feel better, your mentality's better. You're in a better mood in general.
Right.
So you make better decisions, etc. And then
Right.
the other thing is just like improving your relationship with yourself. And that's taking really good care of yourself, like parenting yourself, filling that void by self-care. And to me, self-care is like going to the gym every day and eating healthy. So
yeah, self-care is huge. It's kind of one of those things that we forget when we're actively using. I know for me, when I was actively, all I cared about was getting the next one and getting high. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about how I looked. If I felt any type of way, happy, sad, excited, anything, it was an excuse to use. And whatever I was feeling, I would just drown out with whatever substance I decided to put in my body. And that's been a very difficult thing for me, having to learn how to sit with those emotions and with those feelings.
And that was one of the things I was really afraid of in early recovery. I was like, how am I gonna face things that are
I have
difficult
to feel stuff now.
Exactly. I was so worried about relapse because, like, what do I do in this situation when I need to cope? And you build those tools over time and that confidence, just knowing that you can get through things.
Going and working out, going to the gym, that's kind of what I turn to now when I start having those feelings. If I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling depressed, which, happiness is something that is easy to sit with. You can, that's not hard at all. But when you're sad, when you're upset, when you're depressed, when somebody does something you don't like and you're mad, those were the biggest triggers for me when I was using, to make me go use. And now I'm angry at this person for doing this little dumb thing. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym now. And I usually end up having a fantastic workout because I'm just like, I'm getting all my frustrations out, much healthier, and the consequences are not terrible either.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I've been accused of like replacing one addiction with a gym addiction, and I'm like, well, not necessarily. It's not like if I have a rest day, it's not like, oh, I need to get to the gym. Like, I feel I feel like uncomfortable if I don't go. It's a compounding effect of like going to
Right.
the gym and just feeling better. But
Right. Right.
kind of what you were saying, I struggle with anxiety, and that's something I really was covering up with substances. And
Mm-hmm.
so how the gym helps with that is it you know, kind of like burns that off a little.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
also yeah, and like I was saying before, it builds confidence. And it's like, yeah, like I feel really uncomfortable when I'm anxious, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, I can get through it.
One of the biggest things that has changed for me is, since I've started living like this and started living healthier and working out, I can look at myself in the mirror and not hate what I see. I'm proud of what I see, and that's kind of a first for me. Always kind of had, low self-esteem and not really thought very highly of myself. And that's something that has completely turned around for me. Um, there's a lot of people that say, I want to go to the gym, but I have this and this and this that I have to do, and I don't want people laughing at me, and I don't want to get made fun of, and stuff like, and just, all types of excuses. As a personal trainer, what advice do you have for people that want to go but just don't know how to start, don't know what to do? Or is there
Um,
any advice?
well, one, no one's looking at you. Like you think they are, but they're not. They're so involved in their own thing
Hmm.
that like no one cares,
Right.
truly. And if they do, who cares? Like like they don't matter. Um,
Right. Right.
but it's understandable how intimidating it can be to get into the gym, and you see like all these fit people in there and they're like they know what they're doing,
Hmm.
etc. But you have to think like each one of those people started somewhere.
Right.
And so at one point they were the uncomfortable person in the gym trying to figure it out. But
Exactly.
this is not like a shameless plug, it's real. But like you could hire a personal trainer for like a month or something, and they could show you what to do, and
Yeah.
that's a really good way to get in. But you know, that's not accessible to everyone. So YouTube is an
Hmm.
excellent resource.
Ah, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube is a great resource for pretty
Yeah.
much anything these days.
Hmm. So what I would recommend is like figure out what your goal is. So it might be like I want to get stronger, I want to get bigger, I want to lose weight, etc. Like look up how to do that, and then look up exercises on YouTube. That's a really
Hmm.
good way. Um, but also, I don't really try to convince anyone to come into the gym. Like they're like, I you know, want to come into the gym, but blank,
Hmm.
like excuses, excuses,
Right.
excuses. I'm not gonna be like trying to convince them they're ready when they're ready.
Hmm.
If you try to tell somebody what to do, they're just gonna do what they want anyway. So it's like
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and waste any breath, but I'll be here if you need guidance. So
Right.
that's kind of my take on the whole thing.
No, that's actually great advice, especially what you said about, nobody's looking at you. They don't care what you're doing. They care what they're doing.
Hmm.
Uh, and that's so true, because I know for me, when I go, I do not care what anybody else is doing. I know what I want to do. I know what I'm trying to get done. And that's all that matters at that point. Um, Laura Mae, you have a nonprofit. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's called Richmond Strong, and we host events, powerlifting and strongman events, and we raise money for local communities in need. Our focus is going to be on mental health and physical well-being. Um, so far, we've done a few events raising money for LGBTQ plus communities and recovery. Um, addiction recovery communities.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an event coming up in October. It's a powerlifting meet, and it's Halloween themed. So it's going to be really fun.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. And
That
that
sounds really
raises,
cool.
yeah. And that one raises money for an organization called Hope for the Day, and they are centered around mental health awareness.
Beautiful. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So your personal recovery. You mentioned that the gym is a big part of your personal recovery. That's what we do here on this show. We talk about, recovery and things of that nature. What we don't get into, though, is a lot of the the mental health aspect of it. And that's a big piece of personal recovery. What has your personal recovery journey looked like? What has it been like?
Well, it didn't start like, black and white. It started like, I remember the day the decision was made that I'm going to get sober. I was actually like laying on the floor of one of my house cleaning jobs, and I was just sobbing. And I'm spiritual. I'm not like religious, so I don't pray, but I prayed this day. And I think that was answered because I then started the journey of recovery. And like I said, it wasn't like right away. I had a few tries, but now I'm like on a almost 6-year sobriety streak. So
Right.
And counting. So but yeah, it wasn't just alcohol I was addicted to. I struggled with food, like binge eating, also and codependence, and just anything for self-numbing. So I also was a smoker. So like getting rid of those things from my life was I consider that part of my recovery journey as well, because more and more I was like using these things to cover up, and it's like, no, I need to be getting to the root of what these things are.
Right.
Like the reason I'm like numbing. So it's been a lot, like working with a therapist. Like I said, I'm on a spiritual journey, so like figuring out things with that, like figuring out things from my past that could be triggering. And yeah, getting all these things in check: physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and building a community around me that is supportive of everything I'm doing. That's like, mwah, like everything.
Right. Yeah. My support network has been absolutely detrimental in my not only my personal recovery, but my ability to get myself back to where I've wanted to be. When I'm still a participant at McShin. And when I first got here, there's a running joke between me and my friends that I look like Gumby. And it was pretty bad. I mean, I had lost a ton of weight. I was I was gray, I could hardly eat. Everything hurt. And then, slowly but surely I started, reaching out to people, my sponsor, who I'd known for a while, and kind of his group of friends. And then we all became, this big group of friends that started, and it was just random too. He was, hey, you want to go to the gym with me? I was like, oh man, I haven't been in years, like, I don't know if I really want to get back into that. And he was like, dude, just come on, put your gym shorts on, let's go. And, the first day that I went, I lifted a couple of weights and I was just like, man, I'm just not feeling it, you know? And then the next day, hey, you ready to go to the gym again? You ready to go? Just every single day, just taking me. And finally it got to the point where I was just like, I started seeing a little bit of a result, you know? And once I saw that initial result, I was just like, okay, that's it. I'm going to keep going. That's all I needed to see. Just a little bit of, I got my color back, I got a little bit of definition. And now it's to the point where I don't like taking off days, even though I know I need to, like my body needs a break. But I can't stand taking off days. I don't know what to do with myself, waking up and going to the gym, that it kind of sets the tone for the whole day. So as a PN1 nutrition coach, first off, what is PN1? I've never heard of that before.
It's precision nutrition, and there's different levels. So I'm like level 1. I don't know what it goes up to. Like,
okay,
4, I don't know, but
yeah. What do the different levels mean?
Just it's basically like a course that's taken over 3 months. So you take the first course, it's like that information, and then the next level. I don't know what the next level involves, but yeah, it's just to further your education, which I will probably end up doing because it's a really, really good. It's a really good nutrition certification, like one of the best.
Gotcha.
I'm a little biased, but it is one of the best.
Hey, that's I'm all right with that. Tried and true, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll say for me, and this is just for me, I love taking supplements, all types of, different protein powders and different pre-workouts and, different types of vitamins and things like that. To someone that's just trying to get into this, what would you say to someone that says, oh, I got to get all the supplements. I got to, get the protein powder and get the pre-workout. Like, for me, I love that type of stuff, but what do you think about all that?
Yeah. So there's a lot more important things to start focusing on first before you go. Like, if you like spending money and just want to like buy stuff, like fine, do that. Like, it's not going to hurt. But there's much bigger things you could do to start working on that would yield better results than just adding in protein supplements and other supplements. So first is to look at your diet and to actually eat protein in your diet, and make sure that you're getting enough. So enough, like, it varies for different individuals, and you may actually, like, some people are vegan, etc. So it's going to be a little different, but you're looking at 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So that's what you really want to aim for. And that's through eating, and you can also supplement with protein, but you don't need to, is the big thing.
Right.
So also making sure you're getting enough water is like super important. And I know everyone hears that, like, drink enough water, but like, it's for real. It's something you should look at before you're even thinking about supplements. Right. And then also just making sure you're getting a lot of fruits and vegetables. And then once you have those things mastered, and like you're switching to more quality foods and like processed foods, then you can start like worrying about these extra supplements and whatever,
right,
additional things.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, like I said, I'm into all the supplements and everything, and I don't necessarily like spending the money. I will be honest and say that, I like the rush of a good pre-workout powder. You know, it kind of gets me in gear, I guess you could say. And I do drink a lot of protein, but also, you know, I'm on the go a lot. You know, I'm constantly moving around, and I don't necessarily, and this is an excuse, and I'll admit that I don't necessarily have the time to sit down and cook and, you know, actually make healthy meals and all that stuff, which makes it kind of difficult. You know, one of my, in fact, guy Joey who commented earlier, I've got pictures of him with, you know, I mean, fish and chicken and stuff. He's meal prepping basically, and he's got close to a week's worth of food. That's kind of something I've always wanted to do, but I don't have the patience to do it, you know, and so it makes it difficult. I know for me, you know, we had talked earlier about, you know, how, you know, the gym is kind of replacing, you know, the desire to pick up and use, and it kind of helps with dealing with those feelings and everything that you get. One of the things that it does for me is, you know, my disease is going to, it's going to manifest itself somehow, you know. And I think the more that we try to deny an outlet for it, the stronger the desire to use gets, you know. Now that I say we, that's just me, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, going to the gym, you know, it gives my disease that outlet, you know, that rush of pre-workout, that, you know, those endorphins that get released, you know, that's, I feel like a big part of that is my disease kind of releasing itself, if you will. What do you say to somebody that, you know, it says, well, you know, that's, I don't necessarily want to let that out. I don't necessarily want to, you know, have those feelings. Like, I don't necessarily want to get those, that endorphin rush, I guess, you know, is there anything to say to that, or, you know, cause that's kind of something that bothers me a little bit, you know, I'll be honest.
So what I think you're saying is like, it's kind of your way of like processing through some feelings, and like what it really comes down to is at some point you have to face yourself. You have to face your feelings. You have to
Right.
get brutally honest with yourself and listen to your own needs, and like there's no stuffing that down. So whatever like outlet you have, or you know, that you choose for that is your choice. Not everyone's gonna want to go to the gym, and that's fine, and not everyone's gonna want to feel like the endorphin rush of like doing a deadlift, or
Right.
you know, and that's fine. Like find a way, find an outlet, like
Right.
find something positive to channel your energy into. I do recommend finding something physical, because that is one of the best ways to move that, to like work that energy out. But
Right.
yeah, like I said, it's not the only way. I'm not gonna like sit here and be like, go to the gym, it's the best thing in the world, because not everyone's into it, and that's fine.
Right. So, you know, you said you've been into fitness and you know, physical fitness for a while now. What made you decide to want to become a actual certified personal trainer?
Actually, it's funny. So I graduated art school, and then I ended up in Portland, Oregon, cleaning houses somehow. And I was like, wait a minute, like something's weird here. I think like during art school, I was just like messing around anyway. I was just like partying and barely skated by. I don't even know how I graduated, and then like moved out to to Portland and like got the first job I found. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I should actually like try to have a career instead of like cleaning houses. So I went to a job coach, like a career coach, and I did the Myers-Briggs thing. And then
Mhm.
it came up with a list of like jobs I would be good at based on my personality.
Mhm.
And personal training came up. And I was like, oh, interesting. I really I like fitness. I like going to the gym. That could be kind of fun and cool.
Right.
Um, so while I was out in Portland, I found a local like certification place where you go, and it's a course that you go in person, and then at the end of it you come out with your certification. And I was like ready to do that, and then the guy I moved out to Portland with and I broke up, and it
Mhm.
just everything went to crap. And then I came back to Virginia, and I kind of just like set that aside, like not gonna do it. And then
Right.
um but it was in me. It was that like seed was planted.
Mhm.
And like I was talking about earlier, once I made that decision, I was getting sober and like kind of needed something to do and like focus on. And my parents offered me the certification. I was like, bet, let's go. I'm
Yeah.
doing this. So that's really just how it happened. And funny also, I sat on that as soon as I got it, I sat on it for like
Mhm.
two years because I did not feel like I was a personal trainer. Like my body wasn't where I thought like a personal trainer's body should be. Like I didn't
Mhm.
feel like I belonged in that space. And I think um that is that really influences my the way I feel about it now, because like I was that person that like
Right.
felt really uncomfortable in the gym even as a certified personal trainer.
Yeah.
But I like kept pushing myself and aligning myself with people who were doing what I wanted to be doing. I found a coach to coach me and mentor me on how to do all the lifts, and she got me into
Mhm.
powerlifting, etc. And at that point, it didn't matter what my body looked like. It was like, what can I do? How much can I lift? Like, this is
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then after that, once I stopped focusing on like how my body looked, my body just did its own thing and just like started getting jacked. And I was like,
Mhm.
whoa, muscles,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I feel like now I have the appearance of a personal trainer. I think actually that I wish I didn't just say that, because like personal trainers look like everyone. Like you
Right.
don't have to like have a certain look to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
They come in every shape and size and have like it's your knowledge that matters. It's not like what your body looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally relate to to the whole image thing. Because before, when I would walk in and I would pick up weights, I couldn't lift hardly anything. I'm tall and skinny, and I don't have a lot of muscle mass. Since I've been working out, I've gained a lot of muscle mass. I've actually gained, I think, 25 pounds since I've been in recovery. And shoot, now I walk in and I'm just like, I'm gonna lift that and I'm gonna lift that. Like I can actually like stack 45-pound plates on the bars now and like actually get it up over my head. And I can actually do like big lifts. And of course my form needs a little bit of work, but nobody's perfect. In fact, my sponsor and I went to Crunch about, I would say, a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. And we were doing deadlifts, and we were trying to max out. And he stacked, I think it was 400 pounds. Um, and I was like, I was just feeling great that day, you know, and I went in and I, you know, knees bent, got my form good and everything. Before I even got the weights off the ground, I just locked my knees completely straight and lifted completely with my lower back. I made the lift, but my form was horrible. And, you know, I dropped the weights and I was like, yeah, I did it. And then about 5 minutes later, I was like, oh, now I can't walk. I was in bad shape. And then I looked back at a friend of ours took a video of it. And I looked back at the video and I was just like, wow. I was like, my form was horrible. Form is very, very important. I don't think people give that enough credit, especially when you're powerlifting. You know, your form's got to be, I won't say perfect, but it's got to be good enough to where you're not going to hurt yourself. That's what ends up happening. I think a lot of people end up hurting themselves when they're powerlifting.
Yeah, I want to say though, I want to argue just a little with that because it's not so much form, because if you do the same form repeatedly, it's not necessarily going to cause injury. It's mostly like, are you doing weights you can manage?
Right. Okay.
And that's the big thing. So form, yeah, like you can teach that early on to a lifter and you know, get them moving their body efficiently and properly. But there's some people that like won't actually achieve perfect form, nor is there such thing as perfect form. But what's important is that you're managing loads that aren't too stressful for
Right.
what you're currently capable of.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, it's weird because I've got so my sponsor, he likes to lift big heavy weights and he's trying to bulk up. And then my friend Joey, he isn't necessarily trying to bulk up as much as he's trying to cut up. And there's a really, I don't know, there's a big difference between the exercises that they do. You know, he's more into functional, you know, lifting and functional exercise, lots of pull-ups and push-ups and, you know, burpees and things like that. Now this dude he can put some weight in the air. That's not even he's a strong dude. But like, you're not going to see my sponsor, you know, doing, you know, 50 pull-ups with, you know, a 45-pound plate strapped around his waist, you know. That's just not going to happen. But you will see him, you know, pushing 350 pounds on flat bench, you know, that type thing. So it's interesting, you know, the different types of exercises you have for the different goals. For somebody that wants to, because I've got a good friend who she wants to, you know, lose a little bit of fat. I don't think she's fat, but she isn't satisfied with the way she looks at all. What advice do you have for her as far as what she should be doing? Should she be even lifting weights or doing more body exercises, or
Oh
does she
yeah,
even need to go into the
definitely.
gym right now? Like,
Yes, lift the weights,
mm-hmm,
please. When you build muscle, you're actually building your metabolism. So lift weights. Second, you need to be in a calorie deficit. If your goal is weight loss, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So you can't actually build muscle and lose weight at the same time, but you can kind of mitigate so let me back up a second. If you gain muscle, you're also going to gain some fat. If you lose fat, you're also going to lose some muscle. But you can mitigate the muscle loss while you're losing fat by making sure that you're eating enough protein, going back to like getting that 1 pound to like 1.8 or grams per pound of body weight. So that would be my advice, is to get in, lift some weights, get in a calorie deficit, an ever so slight, because if you go too extreme, then your body's going to fight back and be like, no, we don't want to. And then do like some kind of conditioning or some cardio on top of that, and that'll help with the calorie deficit.
Gotcha. So I have to ask now, personally, I like working out by myself. I also know a lot of people that like working out with other people. Which do you prefer, and which do you think is more effective, or does it even really make a difference?
I'm actually, as much of an introvert as I am, I'm team working out with other people.
Okay.
But for me, it's about the community and the support of it, because it's just like you're going in and doing something difficult day in and day out. And it's nice to know like other people are there with you, kind of working towards the same goals. But I don't think that's necessarily for everyone. Like, and in the same, like, I'm if I go to like a Gold's Gym or something and there's people in there, I'm like, no, it's like too much for me.
Right.
So I go to the weight room. I don't know if you're familiar with that gym, but it's
called the weight room.
It's called the weight room.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it before.
And I do their open coaching program. Like I'm in it. I'm being coached by them. And
okay.
I love it because I follow their program that leads up to a powerlifting meet, or you can like pick a weightlifting program or a strongman program, and you're doing it with other people who are also working up to that event. So it's like there's a lot of camaraderie there, and then you like know that those people will be at the event with you. So that's really cool. I don't really like working out by myself. But some people do, and that's okay.
Right. Yeah, my girlfriend wants to start going with me. And she's been talking about going for a while. But that's the thing, like I like working out alone, but like I really want to help her. Like she's been wanting to go for a while. And she's definitely got some goals, and we talk about it all the time. But I want to make sure that I'm effective for her, and I'm not any type of personal trainer. My thing is I get in there and I throw my headphones on and I just go at it, So is it the type of thing where like I say, all right, maybe you should get a personal trainer first, or, do I just say, all right, come with me and we're just going to do some random, whatever, or like hit the treadmill or what have you,
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you where like, if a friend comes to the gym with me, they know like I'll be in my zone doing my thing, and like I probably can't help you much. So maybe you just do a separate day just to like help her out.
Just with her.
Yeah, it depends on like what she's comfortable with. If she's like, no, it has to be you, then like just, plan a separate time, because like I get like being in your zone and not really wanting that like interruption. But I think like a personal trainer, just finding a gym buddy would be a good thing for her too.
Got it. So if someone were to want to access your services, get a hold of you, what would they do? Where would they go?
I have a website. It's Pixi Training RVA.com. Let me just check on that. Yep. PIXI.
Pixi Training.
Yep.
.com.
Pixi Training RVA.
RVA.
Yeah. So no E in there. It's PIXI.
Pixi.
Yeah. So you can go to my website and you can access me through there. You can email me, pixitrainingrva@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on Instagram at Pixi Trainer. And then Richmond Strong, we have a website as well. We have links to our events. So if you're interested in signing up, we're looking for some more lifters to participate. We're also looking for volunteers, sponsors, etc.
Awesome.
That's richmondstrong.com.
richmondstrong.com.
Yep. And then on Instagram, at Richmond_strong.
richmondstrong.com. I'm going to run that across the bottom of the screen so everyone can see it. Is that correct? richmondstrong.com? Yep. Awesome.
That's correct.
So that's where people can go to sign up for
for the event. If they want to be a volunteer or actually there is a sponsor link. If they want to be a volunteer, just contact me directly.
Okay, perfect. Any last word? We're getting down to the end of the hour here. Anything you want to say to anybody? Any last words? Any kind of advice you want to give to people or anything like that?
I think just like small baby steps. That's I think people try to complicate things and do everything at once. And then that's just not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So just choose one small goal and go for it. And as soon as you have that down, pick something else to do. It really doesn't have to be that complicated.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you. Well, listen, Laura Mae, I want to thank you a whole lot for coming on the show. It's been really informative talking to you. I've learned a couple of things actually. And I think we have a lot in common, which is cool. So that being said, yeah, that's it. So
right.
Thanks
cool.
again. Yeah, good luck with everything. Good luck with your recovery.
Thank you.
And good luck with your continued education.
Thank you very much. It was very nice meeting you and talking to you. And thank you everyone out there for listening.
All right. See you guys later.
Here at McShin, we believe in the McShin way, which is authentic recovery support service providers, people with lived experience, bringing that experience to those who need that lived experience in recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in many things to support our mission. We believe in women empowerment.
What I love most about what we believe here at McShin is we believe in the authenticity of the peer-to-peer approach.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in giving people opportunity.
Here at McShin, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
At the McShin Foundation, we believe in helping people reach their full potential.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in multiple pathways to recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in placing principles before personalities to help spread hope.
Here at McShin, we believe that recovery is possible and that any person seeking recovery can become a more acceptable, responsible, and productive member of society.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in self-discovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in saving lives and offering second chances.
Here at McShin, we believe you can do this.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe that we can only keep what we have by giving away, which is why we continue to help others like us seek and find recovery.